We got through the UFC Vegas 38 weigh-ins. 3 people missed weight, but all 3 fights will continue. So no drop fights. We've made it through weigh-ins to the end of the week, and we didn't have any drops, which is honestly quite shocking during the COVID era. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk through some of my picks, some of my plays, my insight and thoughts on the expensive fighters, where there's some value, and a couple places in between. Do not forget to join our free DraftKings League, because if you win it, I send you money. If you win our free DraftKings League, I send you $15 if you're a subscriber. And if you're a member, I send you $30. Cash App, Venmo. Ask people in the comments. I've been paying out every single week, and it's literally just to help grow this channel. So appreciate the subscription. Play the free league. If you win, you get free money. If you don't win, who cares? You had some fun. So wewantpicks.com/DraftKings. Let's walk through this card. I'm going to sort by salary. I like to talk about the expensive people first. Right out of the gate, we have Alex Hernandez. Alex Hernandez, big favorite here, as he should be a big favorite. And we talked about this. This dude looks like an absolute killer or a bum. When he wins spectacularly, and I feel like he beats everybody he's supposed to beat. And then he'll lose tough ones. He lost to Drew Dober. He lost to Donald Cerrone after talking all that smack, and he lost to Thiago Moises. But those are tough guys, tough matchups. He does not have a tough matchup ahead of him. He has a last-minute replacement who missed weight. And I think Alex Hernandez, it's going to be easy, quick work. $9,400. I will spend that money on him because if we look at the points that he scores in his wins, he does well. Listen, the Trinaldo one, that was a weird fight. But if we go to the Grutzmacher fight, which I think this is going to be closer to, just an absolute pounding on his feet and then take him down, beat him up, he scored really, really well. I think Alex Hernandez is worth the money because there's a couple of the other people at this price point that I don't love. Carol Rosa, she's fighting Betch Correia, $9,300. Listen, she's got volume. When she wins, look at the points that she scores, and it's because of all of these strikes. She has takedowns in 2 of her most recent wins, but I do not see her taking Betch Correia down. Betch Correia has ridiculous takedown defense. She's short, thick, great hips. I don't see her getting taken down. So then there's just going to have to be a million strikes. She's super tough. Carol Rosa, you know, it's tough at $9,300 because you could spend the money. You could spend the money. And honestly, if you look at the stats, she's a better play than Alex Hernandez at $100 more. But I just like Alex Hernandez to go in there and just absolutely decimate his opponent. Where I think Carol Rosa, I think she'll beat Betch Correia. I think she'll tune her up a bit. I also think she'll struggle with some takedowns and could potentially lose a round or two. We've seen Betch Correia get decisions that she didn't necessarily earn, literally because she's moving forward, stays in people's faces, and is really hard to take down. So anything's possible. I'll let you do what you want to do with Carol Rosa. She does really well when she wins. I think she'll win. So maybe that's all you need. But I think Alex Hernandez is going to get a stoppage and score a ton of points. Then we have Silva de Andrade. It's the longest name in the world, honestly. It's a bit ridiculous. So I don't love $9,200 because he's fighting Perillo. Perillo is a nasty, Gaetano Perillo is a nasty, nasty kickboxer. Douglas de Silva de Andrade, all 17 names there. He has a ton of experience. I mean, look at the people he's fought. Renan Barão, Peter Yan, Vera, Font. Like he's fought some of the best people to do it. And he's done well. He beat Barão. He beat Vera. But Gaetano Perillo is just a sick kickboxer. Literally one of the best to do it. And the reality is, Gaetano, if you look at his last fight, he scored horrendously, and it was a bad loss for him. But he got Ricky Simón. In his very first UFC fight, they gave him Ricky Simón. They said, here's a nasty kickboxer. Let's put him in there with a nasty nonstop wrestler. Obviously, that didn't go well for him. So I think there's a lot of recency bias in this pricing. If we look, De Silva does have some takedowns in his fights. We talked about the takedowns and the percentages in the full fight breakdown, so you can check that out if you want more details. But the reality is, Gaetano Perillo is so dangerous on his feet. I like him in this fight. I'm not going to spend $9,200. If Douglas Andrade had better takedowns and more aggressive takedowns and stuck with them, it's a clear win. But he's a little inconsistent in that department. Let's take a look at Perez. So Perez over Eduardo. I have Perez winning. I picked Perez to win. I don't think this fight goes the distance. I have a bet on this fight not going the distance. But it could go either way. The reality is both of these guys are kill or be killed fighters. And is Alejandro Perez going to win? Probably. Am I going to spend $9,100? No, I'm not. It's just too much. There's too many variables there. His opponent will literally try to kill you or get killed in the making. Alex will probably put him out, but Alex could get put out. He has lost every possible way on the planet. They both have a ton of fights. They both are coming off of really long layoffs. Alejandro Perez, 2-year layoff. I'm not spending $9,100 on a fight like that. We'll take a look at Casey O'Neill. This might be worth the money. $9,000. Casey O'Neill is fighting the younger Shevchenko, who has no takedown defense at all. And you can go to the Chikagian fight if you don't believe me. And let's look at the points that Casey O'Neill scores in the past. 110 against Procopio, 140 against Shayna Dobson. She uses her wrestling. She has great Muay Thai striking. Is she going to be as technical as Shevchenko? No. Is she going to be as tough or tougher? Absolutely. Does she have better grappling? Absolutely. Is she younger, fresher? Absolutely. Is she on the way up? Absolutely. I will probably spend $9,000 on Casey O'Neill. A bunch of people are hating that pick in the comments. I'm honestly not sure why. Like, just go watch Shevchenko lose to anybody that possesses the skills that Casey O'Neill has. And it's a pretty easy jump to make that Casey O'Neill's going to do that to her. Aspen Ladd, listen, her missing weight was tricky because the only loss in her career against Durandamine was because of a bad weight cut. And she missed weight. So it's really hard to know what to do here because Aspen Ladd was going to be in my lineup. She was absolutely going to be in my lineup. I'm positive she was going to beat Macy Chiasson. But missing weight, I don't know. I just don't know because she, and here's the update here. She missed weight by 2 pounds. It's 1 pound over you get a 1 pound allowance for the scale. So she missed weight by 2 pounds of the official, 1 pound with the allowance. She took the full time to miss the weight, which means she was trying, stepped on the scale, missed it. I just don't know what to do. I'm probably not going to have her in my lineup. If you don't think the weight cut was that big of an issue, I encourage you to go watch the weigh-in, see how she looked, draw your own conclusion. I don't know what to do. I really don't, because she was 100% going to be in my lineup. And now I'm not sure because of that weight miss. And then if we look at Thiago Santos and Johnny Walker, let's look at them both. Thiago Santos, listen, if you think he's going to win this fight, which I honestly don't think he does, but he absolutely 100% can. If you think he's going to win this fight, put him in there because there should be a stoppage, right? He knocked out Blachowicz. He knocked out the champion at light heavyweight. So, he's got power for days. He almost put Glover's lights out in the first round. A lot of people think he did beat John Jones. Rasic tuned him up pretty good. He's got bad knees. He just seems to be a shell of himself. He's a little gun shy. I don't like the 8,800, but if we scroll down, I do love Johnny Walker at 7,400 because when Johnny Walker wins, look at the points he puts up in his wins. Look at these points. And I don't see Thiago Santos taking him down, holding him down. I don't see Thiago Santos winning a point fight either. Thiago Santos either has to get in his face and blast him, or that's it. That's his path to victory. He can take Johnny Walker down and beat him on the ground. He is a black belt in jiu-jitsu. We just haven't seen him use those. Johnny Walker's 6'6", an absolute killer, super athletic, tough as hell. They're both tough as hell. I bet, watch our betting breakdown. I bet the over on rounds, over 1.5 rounds, I bet. And I'm very confident that this will go a little while. They are gunslingers, but I do think this will go a bit. So I think Johnny Walker at $7,400 is a fantastic play. Let's look at Perillo. I broke down this fight already, but $7,000 for somebody that possesses the Muay Thai skills that he has. So yes, here's a loss. He only scored 3 points, but that was against Ricky Simon. Styles make fights. Nasty kickboxer versus relentless wrestler and grappler. Yeah, no shit. That's what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen, obviously. But I do like him in this matchup. Shevchenko, I would not touch at $7,200. I just don't see it happening. And even if we dig in, let's look at her fights. So she put out Lipsky, but Lipsky is not as tough. And I picked Lipsky to win last week, and you guys hated me for that. And I won it, and I won my bet and everything. But Lipsky, honestly, is not as skilled as Casey O'Neill, in my opinion. She doesn't have the variety, the ability for the takedowns, the power in her hands that Casey O'Neill does. So I like Casey O'Neill to win this fight. I mean, look what she did against Shikagian, 12 points. 12 points. And I think it's going to be a similar fight to that. I also like Jamie Malarkey, $7,500. I like Malarkey to win this fight. We watched him knock out Kamaworthy. I don't think that's what's going to happen here. But he does have decent striking, and he has good grappling. I think grappling is his path to victory in this fight. I like Jamie Malarkey as the underdog in the underdog spot. I love him at $7,500. I will probably spend that. Take a couple more fights here. Misha Serkinov over Jotko. I like Serkinov to win this fight. He's got power in his hands. He has very good grappling, and there's a big gap between him and Jotko on the ground. Eventually, he will get Jotko down, and I think it's going to be a problem for Jotko. So I do like Serkinov. It's tough. It is a tough pick because Jotko, you watched the last time we did a breakdown on that fight. Dan talked about training with him, and it's just lightning fast hands, super athletic. And that could be a problem with Serkinov, who has more power shots looking to grapple. But I think eventually Misha will get him to the ground. And once they get down, I don't see Jotko getting back up. And look what happens when he gets there, 115, 111. Obviously, his losses are rough. His losses are very rough. 2 points, 9 points. He's an underdog for a reason. Jotko's got speed, athletic ability. He's got some power. But I think it will get to the ground, and I think Serkinov will get it done. And then let's look at Oliveira. Listen, Nico Price versus Alex Oliveira or Oliveira, they're like the same fighter, except Alex has a little more experience, but also more wear and tear. This is going to be an awesome firefight. I am very much looking forward to this fight. Very much looking forward to this fight. If you think Cowboy wins this, then $7,800 is probably a good amount to spend because I think it's a war. I bet the over on rounds. I think it's a war. I don't know if there's going to be a stoppage. And if there is, it's anybody's fight. Either one of these guys, they've both been knocked out cold. They've both knocked out people cold. Anything could happen. But, I think Alex Oliveira's leg kicks, his veteran savvy, I think he will outpoint, out strategy, out IQ a wild Nico Price. It'll be a fun fight. I'm looking forward to it. I mentioned before, if there was a prop bet for fight of the night bonus, I would put it all on this because this will be fireworks. I like Cowboy at $7,800. I don't know if he's going to make it into my lineup, though, honestly. And the last one we will look at here is Joe Selecki, $8,300. This is a tough fight. I have a money line bet on Joe Selecki, but this is a tough fight for him because he's fighting a good wrestler with good hands. Joe Selecki also has good boxing, very slick on the ground. He's got good takedowns when he needs them, but they're not like spectacular takedowns. But I think Joe Selecki's a solid play. I think, he's going to touch up Gordon on his feet. Gordon will probably shoot a takedown, maybe get caught, sucked in the, a grappling exchange, get swept, create a scramble. And I think Joe Selecki will have it from there. This is a really good fight. We'll find out how good Joe Selecki actually is or not. But I like Joe Selecki, and I'll probably draft him at $8,300. That's a fair price. And if we go through the rest of these, you can afford two of the 9,000s, a couple eights, and a couple of heavy underdogs. This is a very hard card, a very, very hard card to play. The Aspen Lad weight messing with my head. I don't know what to do with that, but don't forget to join our free DraftKings League at wewantpicks.com/DraftKings. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and I'll see you for the fights on Saturday.